Guys, that was a high-scoring affair. What seemed to be the X factor during that game to lead to the loss?
I think our start, obviously that's not the start we wanted, and when you get behind the eight ball like that, you're climbing back the whole game. I think we stuck with it for the most part, but coming out like that wasn't our goal. We knew they were going to come out harder tonight than they did last night, so our start was a factor, and I think we just got to stay out of the box.
You're looking at the power play. Coach last night said it was great, and he kind of nitpicked, after a win like that. He said just a little bit crisper on the power play. Was that something that you guys just mentally knew coming into this one to get where you were on that power play?
Yeah, for sure. I think every game you want to build off of it, and obviously being our first game last night, it's a little new with guys. They haven't played together, so you're trying to get that chemistry. And I think for the most part we were good tonight, but still there's things to clean up and things to build on.
As you move through this next week, you got a long layoff. The American Hockey League schedule, and you know this, it's kind of built early where you have 2 games a week off, 2 games a week off. Do you like that, to where you guys can reflect on things that you need to work on and have a full week to work on it?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you got to get used to it. That's just the way the schedule is, so you don't have too much say. You just got to do what the schedule is and get ready to play. If you have to play 3 times a week or 2, whatever. But sometimes having those weeks off are good early in the season. That you can fine tune some things and get together as a team. Obviously, it's early in the season, and you want to come together as soon as possible.
You talked about staying out of the box. How is that addressed? Is it more of a locker room thing where you guys say, hey, we got to no stick penalties, we got to keep our emotions in, or is it just going to work itself out as the season goes along?
I think definitely it's something we talk about in the room, something that is talked about a lot, actually, especially these last 2 games. I don't know how many penalties there were for both sides, but it was a lot, and we want to limit that. But hopefully as the year goes on, obviously we figured that out, that those stick penalties and stuff like that, they call. So, you got to be disciplined in the way you play.
Coach, you take a look at that game, a very high-scoring game. Is there one point in the game that you can look into and say that's what led to the loss?
Well, I think the three goals on 3 shots, right when we seemed to get some momentum, we'd take a penalty and they would score, or, it's just one of those games that, it was going to be, if we were going to win, it was going to be a 9-8, 8-7 type of score. But I think the one that killed us was the shorty. We were actually playing all right, and we started to come around a little bit. We were a goal down or 2 goals down, and then they scored that, and that kind of took the air out of our tires a little bit. And then, then we started coming again, and then, we'd score, then they'd score. So just one of those games.
Do you like a high-scoring game like that when your offense is exploding? I'm sure, however, on the opposite side, you're not too kind to that, but your team continued to measure up to what the tempo was.
Well, the biggest thing about it is you can say, whatever you want, but we didn't, no one quit. Like we went all the way to the buzzer, even when we were down, goals at the end. We kept pushing. We had that 5-on-3. I thought if we scored that, we make it a 1-goal game, and then you never know what could happen. But, they ended up getting the empty netter, and kind of the way the game was going for us. We just weren't getting a lot of bounces. But I like our offense. There's a lot of things defensively I didn't like. I didn't think we killed many plays. Let a lot of stuff stay alive. They had some point blankers where our coverage wasn't very good, where we didn't collapse down and defend the front. So a lot of stuff to work on. After watching that game, there'll be a lot of things that we got to nail down before we play Friday.
I know you can't wave a magic wand and the team has 1 penalty next game, but to lead to that, what's the goal as a coaching staff?
Well, it's just too many penalties. I mean, you look at the 2 exhibition games going into last night. I think the combined for the 2 teams was 27, and I don't know what tonight was another probably 11. So that's 37 minors in 3 games. That's way too many, and I don't know if we're all, if they're all our fault or what. But we got to do a better job with our sticks. If you're reaching with your sticks, that means you're not skating to catch guys. That's one of the things. But the American League's always been notorious for calling stick fouls early in the season, and basically we're a prime example of it right now.
When you look at this week, do you relish the fact that you get a lot of days to first of all rest the guys and then prepare for Ontario?
I think so. you know, tonight maybe go out and have a little fun. I mean, we did get to split. I guess you could be happy with that, but you know, like really would have liked coming out of here with 4 points. Everything be going pretty good for us. But you know, we had a couple key guys out too. You know, you take DeLeo out and Kirkland out, and you know that makes a big difference. But you know, we had Grimaldi, and I thought he was outstanding tonight. You know, he was on every puck, and I could see why he's one of the premier players in the league. The fans love watching him.
It's on you, Coach. Thank you.
All right.